Today we're paralleling these two generators to see if they're compatible, and we'll also see, are you limited to the amount of power from the smaller generator, or can you still get max power out of the large one? Now I'll show you everything as it happens as we go. I'll show you some information as far as how many amps each one of these are pulling, and I'll also show you a couple issues I've been having with the new Predator. So if you have as well, let me know down in the comments if you've been having problems with your new generator. And other than that, we'll get started. Make sure you guys subscribe, and here we go. Okay, I have both generators running, and they are both in eco mode plugged into a parallel box from Win, and you can use different ones. It doesn't matter. We'll use the Watch Power Dog over there. And just so you guys know, when you do parallel generators, you are doubling your amperage if you have the same size generator or getting close to that. But just so you know, you are paralleling the connection. You're not putting these in series, so it won't be double the voltage, so you do not get 240 volt. And if you are using a power watchdog, this one will need a bonding plug, so it doesn't see an open ground, but you only need it on one generator. Okay, so I'll put some information on the screen. We're gonna turn on the AC unit first, and I want you guys to listen, so we'll turn this on, so go ahead and listen. This will kick up. Hear that little kind of a jolt? Hold on here real quick. It'll kick on, and there it goes. So you hear a little bit of a whining noise that kind of happens out there, but this is a 15K AC unit with a soft start built in, and you have two generators out there in parallel, right? So a lot of starting power. But we'll let this sit for just a second. We'll turn on some more loads. Okay, so the front of my RV, this is a 13.5K AC unit, and I do have a soft start on here as well. This will start up in either maybe 5 seconds, or sometimes it can take as long as a minute. So we'll turn the fan on first. And now we'll go ahead and turn this on to the AC mode on low cool, and go ahead and watch the right side of the power meter, and that one already kicked on and went. So now let's go out here. I want to show you something. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't, but the Predator 3500 is the only one running the loads right now. The 5000 actually tripped off earlier, so that was kind of that little noise that you heard. And so this has kind of happened a few times, even in parallel with it on eco mode. Technically, it should have enough power with the other one, so right now the Predator is doing all the work, but I'm going to reset and we'll go ahead and do it again. Okay, so all loads off. Both generators are now eco mode off, so I turned off the low idle so these can have max starting power, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, I want you to listen again as we turn on this AC unit. So turn this on, go ahead and listen. Yeah, so you hear that? That big whine that's happening, that's the 5000 Predator out there. And now that the compressor is actually up and running, it just kind of is something that it does periodically, not every single time, but it is becoming a little bit more frequent. And I don't want to return it yet because I'll probably get the same model, versus sometimes after about 6 months you'll get an updated model. And I did buy the warranty, which I always recommend, so I can run it to the ground if I want. Okay, now that we got that part out of the way, I'll start increasing the load so you guys can see the difference in amperage. And we'll turn this guy on to low AC, and this again will take a few seconds, maybe up to a minute to fire up. Go over here and wait just a second. And still taking its time. So we'll go over here and actually check out the amperage real quick so I can show you the differences on that. So come over here. I'll show you the difference between the smaller Predator and the large one, and try not to trip all over the cables and stuff here. But so as we take a look and wait for the AC to kick on in just a second, this one here is only using about 8.2 amps. Now this one almost 8 amps, so they're not even really a half amp apart, or maybe about a half. And we'll still wait for that AC to kick on here in just a second, but let me grab my meter here and I'll show you so we can take a look. But yeah, still right about 8 amps. Grab this. This is just to kind of verify, just so you guys can see that if the meters on the unit is actually, you know, the same. And now that the AC is kicked on, you can see now we're about 12 amps, 12.1, so pretty accurate. We're gonna check out the other Predator now. And this one, the screen rotates. I kind of wish it would stay where you put it. Push that back. Now you can see instead of about a half amp off, we're about 2.5 amps difference. So it is starting to spread a little bit, and pretty accurate. Okay, so we'll start increasing the loads. This is going to be on the left side of the power meter. And that'll jump up a couple hundred watts. And we'll move on to the next thing. I'm gonna go over here to my power converter. I'm gonna turn on the battery charging. Now this is gonna jump up about 250, maybe 300 watts. But I am gonna use the little boost mode, and this should give me almost another 600 watts, I believe, total, since that'll boost it. And so let's turn on the water heater here. Hold on real quick, let's go up here, and I'm gonna turn this fan on the high real quick just to get the other side going a little bit more. And now we'll turn on the water heater. Now, if you do have an electric water heater, make sure you do have water in it, because if you don't, say you winterized it, you will burn up the heating element real quick. Now this does burn about 14 to 1500 watts, so it's a lot of power. So turn this on, that's the right side. So now you can see we're almost using 5,000 watts of energy there. It's over, well, 42 and a half amps. So come out here and take a look. There's 22 and a half on the 5,000, just to kind of check. And so you guys can see 22.4 and 22.4. So overall it's pretty accurate, which is nice. I've had a couple that are a little bit different, you know, by maybe 0.3. Come over here and push this button again. And 19.4, 19.3. Overall pretty accurate, maybe 0.2 off 0.3 depending. So okay, we're gonna turn on a couple other things to go all the way up to max load. We're gonna skip the microwave and turn on the fridge. And most of these fridges will use about 350 watts, give or take. So this will take about, 10 seconds to turn on. You'll see it on the left side of the screen. Our amps are at 21.8, and that'll go up about, 3 amps here in a second. Oh, and there it went. And now this guy here is becoming one of my little favorite camping items. It does use about 1400 to 1500 watts, but it boils water in no time flat, like maybe a minute. So turn this on, this will be the right side. And look at that, boom, a lot of power. So now we are pretty much max power, almost. So let's go out here. And if you look at the Predator, flashing red light. Now we look at this one. So this is rated at 32.5 max amps. And we're at 31.5 almost. So get my meter again here just to kind of verify. And you can see the spread. We're at 31 here. And the other one we'll check in a second, but right about 31 amps, so 1.5 amps off of max. We can't really go any higher because the other Predator is overloaded. You could see the flashing red light, which, let me grab my meter here and we'll check the other one. And so now if we take a look here, lights flashing, press the button again real quick, and 25 and a half down there, about 26. So you can see how the amperage starts to separate the higher of a load that you go, just to kind of give you an idea how these work. But so that's pretty much max of what you're gonna get. Now I ended up letting these run for just a little over 10 more minutes, and I did back the loads off. So now we've been running pretty much 27 there. This one's here about 23, and yeah, it's been about 12 minutes or so. And so far there hasn't been any issues. But if you're running this much power all the time, you actually need to upsize your generators anyway. Okay, well, I hope that answered some questions for you on if you can parallel them and what happens when you do, as far as how much power do you actually get out of both of them. Now, as far as the issues with the Predator 5000, I'm going to keep it a little longer just to do a little bit more testing, but also if you return it now, you may get one that has some of the same issues. So if they keep having some of the same issues, they may make an update to either the inverter board or maybe some of the electronics that are on the inverter board. So then you might get something that's a little bit better than this actual model that's out now. So for me, I'll probably wait 6 months, maybe 8 months at least, and then we'll see if there's any updates or changes that they do. Kind of like when they changed the Predator. I think this is on the 3rd generation now. It doesn't even utilize the same engine than when it first came out. So, but I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.